was planning on kicking off the week by talking about why I don't go to work a lot of the times because I hate masking and all sorts of other exciting things. But I had an incident happen today that has got my spleen up and makes me wonder why the heck I bother communicating with anyone sometimes. Ugh. Or perhaps, maybe you can judge me as an a-hole. Who knows? I figured this was a pretty simple thing, and that I was being helpful. But again, up to you to decide. So, this morning, I got a forwarded chat about the fact that this new chat cooperative login we had created will work with the proxy server. And they're like, is this a proxy server or something else? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's something we can fix on our end. And then the proxy server will be happy. So I sent it to IT. And IT replied really quickly. I was like, oh yeah, we can add that. Da 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 da. Here you go. Well, unfortunately, I don't do reference, so I don't have access to the actual software. So I wrote back the original requester and can you test this? And I didn't hear back from her for 15 minutes, which felt like forever. Yeah. Joy's ADHD, everything feels like forever. So I ended up trying to drop a chat in and ask a total stranger to do it because I figured, there might, it's 9:30 in the morning, someone will be on duty. Well, nobody was except the cooperative. And I was like, what the heck? When I tried to ask them to use their credentials, they didn't understand what I was asking. So they just were like, call the library. And I'm like, no, you are not helpful. Okay, fine. So my coworker who filed the request, writes me back and is like, yeah, I don't think I should be the one testing that. You should get in touch with the two people that are the admins for that software and tell them to test it. I'm like, okay, but you're the one who reported it as broken and no one will notice if it's fixed. We don't have to anyway. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And I forward that along to the two people who are the admins for that software. And I'm like, can you test this thing? Because you have the login credentials and just confirm so we can tell IT that it's fine. And my immediate response I get back is to the effect of I'm the one who's supposed to be managing all of the chat co-op stuff. And I'm the one who set it up with IT. And I'm like, by the way, I was in that Zoom call, Teams call, whatever. So it wasn't like you really did anything other than sit there and, write down what the login information was. So don't make it sound like a giant thing. Anyway, so he's, this whole I did this and I did that. And then he adds something to the effect of so when I went and I looked in the chat log and I see there were already problems with this, so I'm going to write IT. And I'm like, did you not read what I wrote? Or any of the rest of the email thread? That's the thing. I have 2 or 3 coworkers that in this clique that controls our library and half of them don't read. I send you email. And is it wrong for me to have an assumption librarians read stuff? Email? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just sitting here face palming going, okay, I'm not going to write IT and be sorry, my one coworker doesn't seem to understand that I asked him to test and that you already fixed it. Not going to do that. I'm just going to vent on YouTube because nobody else will see it. Well, except the one person I suspect is another coworker, but that's okay. If you are, yeah. It's fun to work with new people who haven't gotten backstabbed by people that had backstabbed me because they're like, oh, you're just overreacting. I'm like, oh, you know nothing. You know nothing about the dark history some of us have. But I don't know. I can't complain too much about half the toxicity is retired out. So we're getting somewhere. It's just a matter of, breaking that dominant clique eventually. Oh, well, I got 10 more years on them. Eventually outlast them, although by then there'll be a new clique. Whatever, I'm just going to be my neurospicy self, staying at home so I don't have to mask and make everyone feel uncomfortable. It's okay. You guys don't know how much fun we are. Having a much better life with my cats and my dogs and getting my shit done. And nobody bothering me and not feeling waves of psychic judgment for being myself.